What's up and welcome back to another kind of funny live trailer reaction. This time we are going to react to, feels like it's been forever, but we're finally going to, the X-Men 97 trailer. Of course, I'm Tim Geddes. I'm joined by Nick Scarpino.
Hello, Tim.
Andy Cortez.
Morph.
And Roger Picorni.
It's a bub.
Nick, where's your hype levels for this?
Very hyped, actually. I had to stop myself from watching the trailer because I knew we were going to watch it today. I've been looking forward to this for a while.
Yeah,
Very hyped.
It's actually, Kev, I'm so sorry. I want to bring up the poster real quick before we watch this because I saw that they put this out. Maybe it's on Marvel Studios Twitter. Nope, I'm just tweeting out Marvel Studios.
While he's doing that, Andy, give me your morph again.
Morph. I've actually never heard it. I'm only just trying to do an imitation of your morph.
Really?
Would you believe it's episode 1?
It's the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
episode?
yeah. That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the only one he's ever watched.
Morph gets destroyed in that one. Now, like the thing I'm worried about is like, I watched the shit out of every one of these episodes as a kid.
Sure.
I couldn't tell you one singular plot beat.
Oh.
I remember at one point the Sentinels are there, and like I don't
the very
remember.
first episode.
I just remember like Gambit always looked sick as shit. That's all I remember.
Gambit was cool.
Dude, that's so
Oh,
New
wow.
episodes, new era. The posters all like the VHS
Come
tapes.
Wow.
Dude, they know what they're doing here.
Yeah,
So
they know.
I'm real excited about this. Raj, you're like by far the youngest of us.
Yeah.
Did this series mean anything to your childhood?
No. I saw the intro. I would see moments of it, but like X-Men Evolution and Wolverine and the X-Men were my X-Men shows.
Wolverine and the X-Men was awesome.
It's awesome. Awesome shows. But I've also started rewatching, or I guess watching for the first time, the original series pretty recently, and I fall in love with it completely. So I'm very excited for this, for
Hell
sure.
yeah. I mean, this is a stupid question, Andy. But do we hear the theme song?
Oh, come on. Yeah.
Here's a question.
Most iconic theme song of any cartoon ever.
Do we get like an epic version of it? Or is it just the OG?
I think it's OG.
Yeah?
I don't think they're. I think they need to bring like the nostalgia, and I think you get an epic version if we ever get like the MCU movie. This is gonna be.
They brought in the Maroon 5 to redo it.
Yeah. That's the coolest band. The coolest band you could think of.
I was trying to think of Imagine Dragons, but Maroon 5 came out.
Roger, don't be mean. He's trying his hardest.
All
trying so hard.
Without further ado, let's get into it.
Watch the series finale of X-Men next Saturday morning. Check your local listings.
I'm grateful to have the chance to say goodbye. I am proud of you all, my X-Men.
Fate lies in our hands now. Now.
Come on.
Really strong intro.
Get out of me, guys!
All right.
Have to stay vigilant. The professor entrusted us with his dream.
No matter how dark it is,
I'm tearing up.
This
we
is
must
badass.
believe in each other.
We get this done by working together as a team.
Jeez, bub. Keep buzzing in my ear.
It's the fucking OG voices, man.
Heads up!
I love
Holy shit.
that. Did he just charge up
To
Wolverine's
me,
claws?
my X-Men.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Magneto.
The last will and testament of Charles Xavier. Everything he built now belongs to me.
No.
Incredible.
We are brought to you by Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a standalone game that welcomes fans and newcomers alike. You don't need to have played Final Fantasy VII Remake or any other Final Fantasy titles to play and enjoy Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. The combat is not traditional turn-based and has more action-focused gameplay, with even deeper improvements since Remake, with new synergy attacks and team-based combos. And there are large open sections to explore, with Cloud and his comrades venturing across the planet, their fates unwritten, making every step in the expansive world outside Midgard fresh and mysterious. And of course, there are dozens of mini-games. There's a story recap video of Final Fantasy VII Remake for those interested in learning more about the story so far, and those looking to experience Final Fantasy VII Remake fully can pre-order the Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth Twin Pack, which includes the game plus the DLC episode Intermission at no extra cost. You can download and play a demo of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth right now on the PlayStation Store, and you can pre-order the game in the link in the description. The wait is almost over. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is out February 29th. Get hyped! This episode is brought to you by Factor. Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals make eating better every day easy. Wherever tomorrow takes you, be ready with pre-prepared, chef-crafted, and dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. You'll have over 35 different options a week to choose from, including keto, calorie smart, vegan plus, veggie, and more. What are you waiting for? Get started today and have a feel-good week of meals ready to go. 2-minute meals allow you to fuel up fast with Factor's restaurant-quality meals that are ready to heat and eat whenever you are. Factor's less expensive than takeout, and every meal is dietitian-approved to be nutritious and delicious. Get as much or as little as you need by choosing 6 to 18 meals per week, plus you can pause or reschedule your deliveries anytime. No prep, no mess meals. Factor meals are 100% ready to heat and eat, so there's no prepping, cooking, or cleanup needed. Head to factormeals.com/kindafunny50 and use code kindafunny50 to get 50% off. That's code kindafunny50 at factormeals.com/kindafunny50 to get 50% off.
Incredible.
Interesting.
Magneto leading the X-Men. Is that what's happening here? Are we doing this?
That was so much better than I ever thought it could be. I thought it was like, oh, this is going to be kind of neat, whatever.
Yeah.
That looks fucking incredible.
Yeah,
I love the low frame rate, still 3D animation though, but kind of still like trying to emulate that animated style from the 90s. So
was it 3D
sick.
or is it 2D hand drawn?
No, those are 3D models
Yeah,
when
for sure.
Cyclops at the end was talking, at least.
Oh,
But
When-
I'm surprised. It looks
It looks great, yeah. It looks very, very impressive.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Really.
I don't know how I feel about that animation. I don't know. It's just doing
let's see it
this
again.
weird thing where it's trying to emulate it, but
Let's see
it's
it
not
again.
working fully for me.
I'm with Roger. Like the scene when they're in the Blackbird, I'm like, this feels weird and a
Yeah.
little too choppy. Like I get what Andy's saying, but it doesn't feel right.
No.
See, I think the only thing that
For
stood
me.
out to me was the sequence right here where that's all 2D.
Yeah, that looks too.
And they did that. They did the iconic like, hey, let's farm this out to the other squad
Yeah.
because this is not an action sequence, so it's just 3 frames of animation of the guy pumping his fist.
It's essentially the back of a Street Fighter level.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
See, this part
right here, I don't think it feels right.
Oh, I
this-
think it looks sick
that
as shit.
I think it
layered
looks great.
effect,
I think that's shit. We just have to accept that, right? Like that's just the
Oh,
workflow
sure.
now for animated. This has been popular for the last 10 years, and you know, I think they nailed it. This looks better than I thought it was going to look, and the fact that
What do you
I
think
mean, the
Jean
fact that it
Grey?
exists at all is crazy.
What do you think Jean Grey ate right there? Why is her belly bloated? She had
Yeah.
too many hot wings or something.
Oh, probably.
yeah, that's what I'm assuming.
probably.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was worried it was going to be more like the What If style, like Ruby style, like somewhere in between there. This at least feels like they're trying to look like the 90s one did, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look perfect. It looks kind of shitty, but I like that.
I think it
I
looks
want. Can you just rewind to the start of that sequence where we just saw Kevin, where he says "My X-Men"? I love a Wolverine sort of like claws coming out here at the very, very end. It looks so freaking cool. It's just a good looking little animation right here.
And also what they just did right there. Like Gambit charging him up. Like, are you
Love that.
kidding me? That is some cartoon shit, and that's them having fun. This looks so sick, and I love the plot that they're going with here. I'm like starting this trailer off with the end of the actual series, and this is perfect, man.
Can you go to that final shot once again? Was that Voldemort in the far left? Who's that?
Isn't that Morph?
Wait, where?
Far left? No, that is the basketball kid.
That's Basketball Kid.
No, I
You
think
got the
that-
little headband. That's Morph.
It's Morph.
That's Morph.
That's Morph?
Because if you go to the final shots, Kevin,
Morph
after
time.
the like My X-Men thing, the final shot of that little sequence where they're all lined up.
Big plate of pasta.
Look, it looks like Voldemort. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's Morph's jacket. But
I
like,
didn't
have
know
we
Morph.
ever seen Morph in the like
no, I don't
the
think we ever.
no
I
skin?
don't recall seeing him like that in this
Yeah.
series. He always had this like kind of like
He's a little weirdo?
Wolverine looking guy.
I'm super pulling this out of my ass because I have not seen this shit. Like, I've seen every episode, but not in order. You know what I mean? Like, I
Right.
saw them over time or whatever. But like, doesn't Morph die episode
He comes
one?
back.
And then
Yeah, he comes back.
because
Yeah,
like,
he's
I
all
think
like-
Mr. Sinister brings him back or
he's
something.
all
It
like
was a
drug
whole
addict.
thing. Yeah.
But yeah, then I think at some point doesn't he morph? I'm also maybe
He morphed
just
into
with
an
comic
alive
stuff,
man.
But he morphs into like this is who I really am, and then he looks like this.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's probably that sounds accurate. I don't recall that. I just know that he was alive because the first episode they brought that was what blew my mind about the series. I was like, oh, Morph died. That's so sad. But I watched Robotech. I saw Rick Fulker die. I understand death now.
spoilers,
and then they
bro.
brought him back, and I was like, what?
Ruined your reality.
This is crazy.
There's a documentary on YouTube about this series, and it's so interesting of like how important this series was for Marvel and for superheroes and the popularity of the X-Men in the 90s, and like how this kind of became the team and how most people thought of X-Men. And to get into the nitty gritty of the business decisions of how they actually made the show and the lengths they had to go to keep the budgets low. And they were trying to do something that no one's had really done before, which was like serialized like narrative, like actually telling a story over time.
Yeah.
And that,
boy, did that not work.
it didn't work because they had no real control over a baseball game is playing during the time slot on the Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So with like that episode might never even fucking air, and it's episode 3 of a 5-parter, like things like that. So it got really.
It was very like I watched this when it was happening when I was a kid, and this was so my touchstone for this was I always thought X-Men was the team for Marvel. Which was so weird to me because then 20 years later, like, no, we're going to build up to the Avengers. Like, the Avengers, that fucking B squad of Marvel teams. Like, who are they? Iron Man, Captain America. Who cares about them? Where's Wolverine? Where's Beast? Where are all these people, right? But I do remember watching this when I was a kid thinking, wow, this is incredible. Because from week to week, it would progress. And then there'd be that one week where a totally different episode. Like, I remember I was halfway through like a Sinister arc, and then the Apocalypse arc started. I was like, what the hell? Where did that? What happened to last week? And then my mom would be like, go mow the lawn. I was like, you don't understand, Elena. It's a crisis. You know what I mean? They're introducing a whole new bad guy arc here. Savage Land and all this other stuff was happening.
You're like right. Like that like back in the 90s, like X-Men was Marvel's big thing, and it was because they sold all that stuff. I mean, Avengers was always big.
But Kev, even before that though, it's like before selling, it was big because of this. Like the selling, that was like the 2000s, right? I mean, like it happened in the 90s, but the movies didn't hit till 2000. But like, this is the reason that when we think or thought Marvel team, it was X-Men. It's because of this show.
Well, this is also probably what spurred Fox to do the X-Men series, right? With Hugh Jackman.
I remember that one
built into this.
I remember that one beat 'em up arcade game. I was like, why does Wolverine have a brown suit? What the fuck's going on here?
So
and Marvel vs. Capcom 2, they took up 2 character slots in that game, one for blue suit, one for brown.
I want you guys to understand, I never read comic books. This is my introduction to X-Men. So imagine when you're a kid, I'm like, this looks like a cool cartoon. And you sit down to watch. In the first episode, his best friend gets murked by a fucking Gestapo of Sentinels. And then like Jubilee's being chased and all this stuff. And they're all holding up in this mansion. I was like, what is going on? How did I miss all of this? This is wild.
Yeah, I mean, the 90s were a wild time for X-Men because of the show. And then the Jim Lee run of the comics like really took everything that they had built from the 80s and prior, but then it was like this moment of like iconic storytelling and specifically art and the look of like Cyclops being the like biggest, most muscle-bound dude we've ever freaking seen, and just a love for the male body.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
the male figure.
But you having more recently watched the show, are you excited about this plot-wise?
Plot-wise, yeah, I'm excited about it. I think I'm still so hung up on the animation of it all because it looks good in frames, like when you pause it, but the motion of it is just it's doing that uncanny thing for me. Where it just does not work for me.
Raj, I hear you, and I think I used to be like that. I used to be like you, man, but I've seen through the looking glass now. And if this allows them to make more episodes of this show, I'll accept it.
All right.
Because that was the biggest problem with the original show. It was just such a pain in the ass to get that art style. That's why when you see like a Batman the Animated Series, and that shit released week to week pretty easily. It's so they just went with that simple style, to really nail it. And this way, I just remember being a kid, being like, "Why is this show not going on forever?" And then it just like randomly ended. I don't even told you. I don't think they knew if it was going to be like the series finale. I think it just ended. We were like, we never got any. We didn't have the internet. I didn't know why it was gone. It just wouldn't happen.
I mean, it is very interesting that there was a lot of the Fox Kids Marvel shows that like weren't connected until they were randomly, where it's like there's an Iron Man show, there's Fantastic Four, there's Spider-Man, there's X-Men, and there was a fair amount of crossover.
There's an episode where Spider-Man has to go to, and it's I think it's in Spider-Man, right, where he goes to the X Mansion and gets trapped there for a second. And then you see Wolverine like being like, "What are you doing here, bub?" And I was like, "What?"
The same thing is true for the Batman animated. Like it doesn't just end. That and the like Superman that was going concurrently tail end into the Justice League, which then goes into the Justice League universe, which goes into Batman Beyond. It's incredible.
Oh no, yeah, no, they did it great. The DC learned from Marvel here, and they were like, we're gonna figure this out, because when Batman had the first crossover with Superman, I was like, this is we don't need any more. This is the best.
My childlike mind cannot handle this.
I gotta be honest with you, Magneto's voice is one of my favorite voice actors. His voice in the original series was so perfect for that character. Because remember, he's like jacked out of his gourd, but like still had the beautiful like silver hair, silver fox mane. Is this
I don't
the
remember
original
him
Wolverine
like that.
Oh, he didn't have that. He had like it was like
he had it like that.
slightly longer, but
Yeah.
this is way longer. This is like Kurt Russell levels mullet.
I remember they announced at D23 or whatever it was, actually. I don't remember where. Maybe it was Comic-Con. That it's all the entire voice actor of anybody that's living is back.
Yeah,
there was a couple people that they changed.
That didn't sound like the original Wolverine.
I don't remember.
That's
I
why
mean,
I'm gonna look it up.
they're older now, man. This is like 20, 30 years old later.
This guy sounds like he's got his voice is way higher. The original Wolverine was way grimier. Chat, let me know if this is the same guy.
They recast a couple people though, just for like some cultural sensitivity issues. But besides that, I remember they tried getting everybody. But
see, me and Garth only Rogan Wolverine are the original voice actor. Maybe I'm wrong.
I wonder if
it's
this
the same guy. Okay, cool.
It seems like it all drops at once because they're just having the one date there. They didn't say it explicitly, but like they didn't say like episodes weekly or whatever.
I feel like Echo was like explicitly like, "Hey, all of these come out in one day, right?" And they didn't do that here, so that's
well,
what
they
makes
would
me.
They did that because they were also doing that on Hulu, and they were trying to make a big deal of like the promotion there. And maybe we'll see this later, but I imagine we'll get them all now. Which hey, this is kind of cool. I love that they're just committing to what this is, which is a sequel to that show.
Yeah.
And also shout out to the Marvel Animation logo, which I think is the first time we've seen that.
Oh, that's dope.
Where it says Marvel and Animation Studios. Like I don't think we've seen that for What If, which is the only thing we've had so far, but I like it.
Yeah, I love the colors in this. It's so vibrant.
Man,
so
how,
vibrant.
How fun would it be to go back and have to recreate all those title assets for this?
So cool,
like
dude.
4K. God, that'd be so
I'm
fun.
so excited to see the remade intro.
I know.
Oh my god.
That is the most it's gonna be important.
I'm surprised they could have just done that and just been like, "Hey,
That's the
coming out
trailer.
March. That's it. That's
but
it."
instead they did this, and like this is to me the perfect balance of it was an epic version of the intro, but it still felt like the intro.
Yeah, it was essentially using the same instruments.
Yes.
It wasn't using like a fucking symphony.
Choir.
Yeah, it was just like, let's use kind of those still old school sounding instruments, like very 90s MIDI type stuff.
Yeah. And the Duke of Dustin puts the quote that I can't believe I haven't talked about yet. To me, my X-Men. Cyclops saying that.
So good.
He's gonna have to become the leader and destroy Magneto.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but
he's gonna have to be like
Wolverine in the back being like, this guy. You know what I'm talking about? The Cyclops don't.
It was always a weird little relationship. I didn't quite understand the dynamic as a child.
Well, if it was happening now, it'd be a throuple. They would just right. Polyamory is like, man.
Is that the sound that
Nick's
occurred?
not wrong.
Sneak,
Nick's not wrong.
By the way, I want to say I love that when this opens up. Can you scroll us back real quick? And I could be wrong about this. Just go back like maybe 5. Yeah, right here. That's fine. So we see him, and then we don't see any X-Men yet, right? And who's the first person we see in this? Who's the first? Like, what's the first? Keep going.
That looked like Shredder there in the middle.
Keep going.
Probably Magneto, right?
Yeah, at the UN.
Not yet. Boom, right there.
Yeah,
you see that right there?
Little
The
silhouette.
first silhouette we see.
Well,
who was the
last
first line
see the
right
silhouette?
It's basketball guy.
3 days ago. Super Bowl. Think about it.
Sneaky.
Is Deadpool gonna come into the universe? You know what I mean? Can I do an animated little thing?
We should do a Deadpool trailer reaction like a year from now.
After the movie's already on DVD.
Yeah.
Well, there we go, man. X-Men 97 coming March. Was there a date? March 20th. March 20th. It's coming out. Very interesting. I'm very excited for it. That was a great way to show off this series. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And for everybody watching, if you're on Twitch, you can just hang out with us all day. You can just stay in the same place. But if you're watching on YouTube, now is the time. I'm going to have you jump over to youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. New video for our Xbox business update reactions. If I need every single one of you to jump over there, or else you're not going to be able to see us. You're not going to be able to hang out to us doing our little pre-show before Xbox changes the game, doesn't change anything. We are moments away from finding out, but please join us over there. Make the jump. I'm going to keep saying it. See you there. Until next time, have an excellent day.